distinguished guests who come to share their experiences with you. The Colonel Carson Holman Leadership Lecture Series is named for Colonel Holman, great-nephew of Carson Long's founder, Colonel Theodore Kellogg. He himself was a 1948 graduate of this academy. Colonel Holman retired from Carson Long in 2007 as the school's president. This lecture series was dedicated to him and named in his honour in January 2013. Today we are honoured that Colonel Holman is with us for this lecture series. Would you please rise and be recognised, Colonel? In that time, he has held pretty much every position in the academy, from assistant tactical officer, building tactical officer, company tactical officer. He was commandant of cadets for 10 years. He's taught science courses throughout his time here, including biology, earth science, introduction to life at Carson Long, Bible and public speaking. He's been both the junior class and senior class advisor, and he's been the science department chair. Colonel Grove was educated at Harrisburg Area Community College, where he received a degree in biology, Lockhaven State University, where he received a Bachelor of Science in Biology, Shippensburg State University, where he received a further education qualification in hydrobiology, and Temple University, where he received a Master's in Admin for Education. He's had a very interesting life. He spent time in Como Bluff, Wyoming, digging up dinosaurs with the renowned paleontologist Otto Baker, where he unearthed the 23 vertebrae on the oldest Diplodocus ever discovered. You know that he enjoys shooting. He is our rifle team coach. He also refits old rifles for veterans organisations, transforming them from rusty memorabilia into pristine fine instruments of engineering. He loves fishing. Sherman Creek, I believe, is a great favourite, and he's recently introduced Colonel Halsall, who will be joining us as our leadership camp director to Sherman's Creek. And we are grateful for you reaching out to people who establish relationships with the school. He's a great hunter, and he enjoys shooting up groundhogs on any farm that will let him on the ground. He's a dead shot. But I personally think his greatest achievement while being at Carson Long is raising his family with his wife Jennifer, April, Amanda and Angela, who are also National Rifle Association champion shots. On a personal note, one of the first people who reached out to my wife Mary and myself when we first arrived and made us feel welcome was Colonel Grove and his wife Jennifer, and I just want to thank you for that. It's that sort of generosity and spirit and a sense of welcoming and friendliness and collegiality that defines Colonel Grove. And it's our great pleasure to hear you talk about leadership today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Belfry Hall.
Oh.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to be up here. Ooh, there's a term of leadership. I'm not sure why I'm up here. wife, who would then come over to our house and drink coffee with my mom. And she told my mom that her husband said I was quite a character. Mom wasn't nearly as excited about that as I was. And I learned a nothing flat. That's a confusing term. And yet, it's one of the pyramids that we base everything here at Carson on. There's no course called character. At all. I've never taught character 101. Being a good guy, 102. Doesn't happen. What is this stuff? I've been asked to talk about values, and one of the things that I learned in Nothing Flat is the fact that things take place here that are a mystery. Guys, there's a hidden agenda going on here, and it involves you. After 6 weeks, parents would come in and say, my son has changed. What do you mean? Well, he's changed. I watched one father stand next to his son on Parents' Weekend and didn't know who he was. He had changed that much. For the first time in his life, he was standing up. His shoulders were back. He was looking ahead, bright-eyed, paying attention to what was going on. He had changed. Whoa. What's taking place? I mean, we don't have a course for that. One of the nice things is the Army, the junior LTC, has a whole bunch of banners back there that go in and speak about terms that deal with values. Now, you guys have a totally different set of definitions for a lot of those. When you mention things like loyalty before you come to Carson Long, that may be okay. I'm not snitching on my best buddy. Or if anybody asks me what he did, I don't know. I don't know who he is, where he is. Or when you get to duty, there was no duty. Duty was something that you did when you got in the Army or something. Respect, you all demanded respect before you came to Carson Law. You didn't give it to anybody, but you all demanded it. You have to respect me. Why? Because. Selfless service. That's what everybody else was supposed to do for you. They were supposed to work, give you money, do everything so that you were a happy camper. That's what selfless service was all about. Honor, never came up much. Integrity, didn't even know what it was. Personal courage, oh yeah, that's when you do things like, you're a hero. The definitions of Carson Law of these values is totally different. When you talk about integrity or you talk about loyalty, it revolves around you being a true friend. I.e., kicking your roommate or your best friend in the rear end until his grades come up. If he looks like he's going to do something dumb, kick him in the rear end and tell him, I'm not going to tolerate that. If he does do something stupid, you look him right in the eye and you say, okay, you've got about 5 minutes to go see the building officer and explain what you just did, or I'm taking you. That's what loyalty is all about. Teaching each other how to deal with problems, how to take care of business, and how to grow. Is there a class about that? Nah. Like I said, they got something spooky going on here. The definition of duty, a moral or legal obligation. Look at this. Or responsibility. Whoa. You're actually responsible for all kinds of goofy stuff that you've never been responsible for before. Your shoes, your room, your bed. Then I hope you're responsible for your roommates. And then you step out into the hall and all of a sudden an entire squad is responsible for a particular part of the building. Then you find out the entire platoon is responsible for the whole building. And then the battalion, it gets crazy. Like I said, more responsibility than you've ever had before in your life. And at 3 o'clock, you go home to mom and dad? No. You're here learning how to solve your problems. Yeah, there's a lot of people helping, but you're learning to do this on your own. As I've said before, it's just like being in college. Selflessness, no doubt about it. This is one of God's commandments. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. Your cadet pledge. I pledge my word as a gentleman that I will not be guilty of hazing in any form, physical or mental, and I will do my best to follow the golden rule. Once again, you're sliding that value. You're not paying attention. Bam! Here's you. Now all of a sudden, you're responsible for your roommate. You're dealing with people from all over the world. You're being introduced to different cultures, different religions. And lo and behold, you're expected to work like brothers. And you do. Integrity. Old Testament, New Testament. Get a look at this. Integrity, the condition of being without blemish, completeness, perfection, sincerity, soundness, uprightness, and wholeness. The New Testament says modesty and, get a look at this, an adherence to a pattern of good works. When I was growing up as a kid, my dad didn't sit us down a whole lot, and my mom didn't sit us down a whole lot. If they did, we were in trouble. But my dad made it perfectly clear to my brother and I that we were not allowed to tolerate people bullying other people. Period. I can't tell you how many times I had to jump up in the air to hit some guy in the mouth. It was picking on somebody. And I also can't tell you how many times I got knocked clean off of my feet. But the one thing that happened is I developed integrity. Bullies did not bother other people in my presence or in my brothers. They did not do stupid stuff in front of us because they knew what was going to happen. We had integrity. Would we stand by and watch? No. Were we going to look around and watch what everybody else did? Now, I'm not the tallest person on the planet. And I used to be a lot shorter. It's hard to believe. I used to have to look up to see bottom. So, having integrity at that size was pretty exciting. That leads us, to this thing about, two different sets of values. The values you used to have on, the values that are sneaking in on you. What's that all about? Well, I don't get that kind of, I'm not going to stand up on the man who's in the room. I'm not going to do it. That's for sissies. No, that's for warriors. The warrior ethos on the armor. I will always place the mission first. In your particular case, to paraphrase, I will always place others first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. And I will never leave a fallen comrade. I can't tell you how many times I've watched you guys be berated by your fellow cadets and still trying to help them out. Squad leaders, working with people who may not actually want to be here, but still never leaving the hand behind, making sure that everybody's on track, making sure that everybody's living in an environment that truly allows you to become you. This effort is phenomenal. And it's sliding in under the lines and between the lines so that you don't really know. Now combine character and honor together for a reason. When you deal with honor and you deal with character, you're dealing with the mental and That's the difference. Biblically, honor means to esteem, value, or have great respect. Honor thy mother and father. Honor your cadet leaders. Honor your family. Honor ladies. When people look at you, they should see a man of honor. All of the things that I've talked about to date can be summed up basically in one statement that Colonel Edward Holman is hammered into that rock over there. And that is that when honor is dead, the man is dead. You need to understand, guys, you are different. You are not like other people. Now, isn't something that you took a course on? You're different. You live these values. This isn't something you read about. You don't talk about this. This is a way that you've learned to live. And that's why this is up here. Yes, this is a katana. Its placement on your stand is very, very important. Because it shows honor. I'm honoring you by its placement. Respect. Notice it is on my left-hand side, and this is my sword hand. Notice the blade is pointed towards me, not to the outside. Notice the handle is upside down, thus showing that I trust you implicitly with my life. Anything else, and it would have been turned the other way around, and it would be in a useful position. Now, when you look at that, you think, well, that's kind of neat. Well, I'm going to use it as an example. Here I have a piece of paper. No, I'm not cutting anything. Relax. Here I have a piece of paper, and here I have a true katana. This is not store-bought. This is real. When you look at this piece of paper, it's made out of particles of wood, with the finest technology. It has been, formed, etc. Okay, this is a little different. Take a block of steel, and you beat and hammer and heat up and fold this 40,000 times. In a five samurai tradition, the warrior that's going to carry this will name it. And he will try to put his very soul into that blade. The sword master is a phenomenal individual. If you have one of the swords made by the great sword masters, it is worth millions. In this particular case, this reminds me a lot of you. Now, how? Okay. A lot of people coming out of high school really, really look good on paper. But when the paper has to go to work for a living, it collapses. You're a little different. No collapse here. This represents character. When the two cadets came across the lady downtown who had passed out on the sidewalk, they took their blouses off and covered her up until the EMTs came to help them. The EMT said they could have saved her life by stopping hypothermia and shock. When Kerry Boyle pulled the elderly man out of the way of an oncoming car, he didn't say anything. He was just concerned about the welfare of the older man. When Mark Summers rushed into the Twin Towers, the third time after being told not to because the building was going to collapse, I don't believe for one minute that a whole lot of thought went into that. He reacted based on character. Matthew Laporte charged the gunman at Virginia Tech. Did he pause? Did he look around and see what everybody else was doing? No. He charged the gunman and saved people's lives because he had character. You, on a daily basis, are using those mysterious skills that line that balcony. You, on a daily basis, are building and changing into a totally different organism than walk through the gates. When you leave those gates, the world will become a better place because you're going to be an outstanding husband. You're going to be an outstanding father. You're going to play an extremely important role in your churches and in your religion, and you will make a difference in your communities. Why? Because of who you are. This is an ongoing power. This is something you need to constantly practice. But what's really spooky about this place is you don't know it. It happens. You become a better human being. How? Because of that rock. We understand, and you may be the only ones who understand it as well. Remember, character is everything. When honor is dead, the man is dead. Have a great year, Carson.
Now it will be the next formation will be at 1:45 for service learning. Next formation, 1:45 service learning.
I have one announcement to make. Please be sure to bring a pencil with you to that formation because it's be coming in here.